500,000 souls, gone in a single night. This wasn't an ancient myth. This wasn't the Dark Ages. This was 1970, the deadliest storm in recorded human history. And the most terrifying part? They knew it was coming. They just couldn't tell the people in its path. Welcome back to Daily. Today, we look at the monster that broke an empire and birthed a nation, the Great Bhola Cyclone. November 8, 1970. A tropical depression forms in the Bay of Bengal. To the casual observer, it's just a cluster of clouds, but meteorologists are watching. Over the next few days, it moves north. It feeds on the warm water. It grows. By November 11th, it's a beast, a Category 3 hurricane equivalent. Winds at 140 miles per hour, and it's aiming right at the Ganges Delta, right at East Pakistan, modern-day Bangladesh. The land here is flat, barely above sea level. It's a maze of islands and rivers. Millions of people live here, farmers, fishermen, families. They are totally exposed. Up in space, the weather satellite ITOS-1 sees the monster. Warnings are sent, bulletins are flashed. Radio stations in the capital broadcast the danger. But there's a fatal flaw, a massive communication breakdown. The warning system is ancient, a legacy of the British Empire. It uses a numbering system, a great danger signal. But the people on the islands, the people in the direct path, they don't have radios. They don't understand the complex codes. And the local government officials, they hesitate. There is no evacuation order. There is no mass panic. Night falls on November 12th. The people go to sleep. Midnight. The wind doesn't start as a breeze. It hits like a hammer. Roofs are ripped off in seconds. Trees snap. Then comes the sound. Survivors describe it as a continuous roar, like 100 freight trains. But the wind isn't the real killer. The Bay of Bengal acts like a funnel. The storm pushes the ocean north. It squeezes the water into the delta. The tide is already high. The storm makes it a mountain, a wall of water 33 feet high, a 10-meter tsunami of black, churning ocean. It hits the islands, Bhola, Hatia, Manpura. There is no high ground. There are no concrete shelters. The water simply swallows the land. Whole villages are erased in minutes. People climb trees. The water follows them. The trees give way. People tie themselves to poles. The poles are uprooted. Fathers lose their grip on sons. Mothers are torn from daughters. In the absolute pitch black, the ocean reclaims the earth. The screaming is drowned out by the roar of the surge. By 3 a.m., the storm passes, but the delta is gone. Morning breaks, November 13. The sun shines. The sky is clear. The contrast is sickening. The water recedes, leaving a landscape of absolute horror. Mud, debris, and bodies everywhere. Hanging in branches, half buried in the silt, floating in the rivers. Entire families wiped out. Entire lineages erased. On the island of Tazumdeen, 45% of the population is dead. Just gone. The survivors have nothing, no food, no fresh water, no shelter. They wait for help. They look to the sky for helicopters. They look to the river for boats. Nothing comes. Days pass. People start dying of cholera, of starvation. The central government in West Pakistan, thousands of miles away, is incredibly slow to react. They downplay the disaster. They send a trickle of aid. The international community is horrified. British Marines drop supplies. American helicopters eventually arrive. But the local government's apathy is the final straw. The people of East Pakistan are furious. They realize they are completely alone. They are treated as expendable. The storm didn't just break the land, it broke the nation. A political firestorm ignites. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman tours the devastation. The sorrow turns into anger. The anger turns into a movement. Elections are held weeks later. The East Pakistani Party wins a massive landslide. The West refuses to hand over power. Tensions explode. Just months after the Great Cyclone, the Liberation War begins. A brutal conflict, more bloodshed. But from the ashes of the Bhola disaster, from the mud and the sorrow, an unstoppable demand for independence is forged. Bangladesh is born. Nature is the ultimate wild card. It doesn't care about borders. It doesn't care about politics. The 1970 Bhola cyclone is a permanent scar on human history. It shows what happens when extreme weather meets extreme vulnerability, and what happens when those in power look the other way. The delta is still there. Millions still call it home. We have better warnings now. We have satellites in our pockets. We have towering concrete cyclone shelters. But the Bay of Bengal never forgets. It is always waiting.